Welcome to Popcorn Planet. We are live. I'm here with my man Lewis. The Bearded Boys are here today talking about some royal drama, some other pop culture news we're going to get to today, including the Jonathan Majors case and more. But our main topic, and this is the part that I'll get trimmed for today from today's live, is some more shade being thrown, Lewis. We've been covering the royals, and you guys have been clicking on it like crazy. You know we deliver when you guys are still engaged, and you guys are. And I thought you'd like to see that one of Harry's bestie buds, Harry's Lewis, let's call it, his rugby buddy. This is James Haskell. They go way back, these two. Tons of photos of these two together through the years as friends, right? Well, James Haskell's like a professional rugby player. As you can see, they've had a long history together, and usually said some nice things about each other. He's always usually spoken pretty fondly, as you can see here. You know, massive build, rugby guy, and Harry enjoying his time there with his buddy James. But here's where things get interesting, Lewis. He threw his buddy under the bus. He threw some shade his way. Duke of Sussex admitted his tawdry memoirs that he was slammed by some of his oldest friends for the explosive interview that he and his wife Meghan gave to Oprah. One friend who loyally stood by him, however, was James Haskell, former England rugby star who attended his wedding. So even when all his other friends were ragging him for it, which he admitted in the book, James was always by his side. Haskell said that he and Harry often compare notes on parenting and even defended his friend's decision to publish his book, Spare. It's already telling to know how many friends told him not to do it. You know what I mean? Like, there were people in his corner who actually were giving him good advice to be like, dude, don't do this. And wouldn't you agree, Lewis? That's what a real friend would do, is actually coach you when it's the bad. Like, a good friend isn't afraid to tell you some bad news. Don't you agree?
That is what I tell all my people I consider my friends, my close friends, is tell me the truth. If I'm doing something wrong, let me know. And if, you know, it also reflects on me. If I can't take real criticism, it tells you what kind of person I am. And that would be an immature person. I think it comes with age. It comes with maturity. Your real friends tell you, dude, you suck at this. And you're good at this. I mean, you don't want people that are always criticizing you for everything, but people that also recognize your positive points. But there are people, your friends close to you, looking at where you can improve. I love that. So if you're a close friend of mine, let me know where I suck so I can improve, and vice versa.
Yeah, agreed. And that's why I appreciate Lewis and all my other friends who do that. And that said, James was not, you know, maybe he thought it was a fine idea, but he was there throughout it all. And, you know, defended him publicly, as a friend should do publicly.
Yeah.
But when someone feels their partner have been oppressed, lied about, contradicted, and put in a corner, I think it's important to speak out, he said. Now, though, Haskell's let it slip what he really thinks, that claiming that Harry has changed for the worse since marrying the American former actress. So here they were at the Invictus Games. So here it was on his podcast. Let's see here. Oh, so referring to how he met King Charles's younger son at the 2011 wedding of his friend and fellow former England rugby star Mike Tyndall to Zara Phillips, Haskell, Harry's buddy, said, "Who should be there wandering around having a good time but Prince Harry? He hadn't met Meghan yet, so he was still quite fun." Ouch! Damn! I mean, it's not only a knock on Harry that he's changed, but it's a super slam at Meghan. He hadn't met Meghan yet, so he was still quite fun. Look, Lewis, we all know a friend like that. When they get in a relationship, they ditch, but you know, it's usually, we don't think favorably of that person if we're saying such a thing. Would you agree?
Yeah, well, I mean, man, that's very telling. I've had friends like that. They're not fun after the relationship. It's very interesting. That hits home.
Yeah, and but it's a little bit more negative because you're like, oh yeah, they just blew me off. They're whipped. They're controlled by them. There's a lot of stuff that comes with it. It's not a little jokey, playful thing. This is a legit, honest burn. He made the comment on stage at the Bath Forum during his The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly live version of, or the rugby of his podcast. And his remark was met with cheers and applause from the audience. So that's what's even more telling. As he does this little knock, it's not like, ooh, no, they were like, yeah! They're like, do more! Roast Harry, we don't like Harry. So he's seeing the room and realizing, uh-oh, this isn't good. And then he continues down as they go. So his partner, his podcast partner or co-host, whatever, is married. His wife is part of the royals. His mother-in-law is Princess Anne, as well as who's the Prince and Prince of Wales. And on stage, Haskell mocked his co-host for allegedly deferring to his in-laws. I don't know how to say this, but Tins, his co-host, is a proper brown nose around the royals. He's taken brown nosing to a new level. They call him Soulsy at the palace because the only thing you can see hanging out of his backsides are the soles of his feet. Ouch, he's really getting in there. And so, yeah, there's a little bit more jokes and stuff, but just trying to bust on the fact that his partner's obsessed with the royals and how Harry is no fun from the one guy who previously had sort of held off on saying any of this nonsense is now coming out. Look, the tide has turned. I know you don't follow this, Lewis. I know you don't like these two either, though. But
no, they look like the same guy to me. I don't know. Put them side by side.
One's definitely a little bit more in shape than the other, but yeah.
Well, I mean, before and after.
But I mean, look, this isn't a good sign for every man Harry who everybody loves, who's all around. Wouldn't you agree? This is some pretty nasty shade.
Well, it's shade to Meghan Markle. It says that he was a cool guy, and then she made him toxic, or he's not this. She changed him essentially.
Yeah,
and he's upset about it. And obviously, he was one of the few friends that were supportive. And then now things have changed, and it seems like he's also sad about it because he lost a friend, right?
Yeah,
and
that happens.
Not being himself. So I can relate to this. I've had friends do that. They get involved with a toxic person or someone that's just like too manipulative. And then, the friendship is over and it's like, man, I really miss that guy.
Yeah, it's true. A good partner doesn't try to pull you away from your family and your friends. They encourage you to go make sure you keep those relationships going because they should have their own relationships too. And what's obviously telling about Meghan is she doesn't really have a lot of friends, it seems. She has these fake, phony Hollywood friends. Tyler Perry, Oprah, all these people are getting exposed with the skeletons in their closets. But to know that Harry had all these real friends that he had for years who were at his wedding, and now Meghan's got his family cut from him, all of his friends are cut from him. It's a very hard thing to deny, and people support Meghan and Harry. I don't see how they can look at this and not be worried for him. Like, what the hell? Why are you distancing yourself from everybody that made you who you were before this woman? You want to still retain parts of yourself. You know what I mean, Lewis? You don't want to just cut everything out of your life and focus solely on your married partner. That's not very healthy. You want to have everything there and you want a partner that supports. Do you disagree?
No, man. I mean, I think your partner should expand on who you are, who you were, and your friends should actually be more involved or more, invited. He doesn't feel invited to hang out with them anymore. That's what it looks like, and he's not being himself. So, again, a lot of people have experienced this. So I think this is a very relatable situation here.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, because there's been a period there because of these, I'm like, oh, I feel bad for Harry. But the more and more you see the actions that he does in blowing these people off and allowing these ridiculous things to happen, it's hard to keep defending him. And to see that even his own friends are having a tough time defending him is telling. At the end of the day, I don't know if this couple's going to last. I don't think they are. I don't know if they'll just fake it forever like Will and Jada, or if Harry will finally wise up and try to get the hell out. But I hope these friends will come back, and I hope Harry sees these comments as, you were right. You know what I mean? You were looking out for me and I should have listened. But who knows? What do you think? Do you think, from your more limited knowledge of this story, do you think Harry and Meghan are just going to keep going the toxic ways?
Nah, it's going to grow resentment. Harry's going to grow resentment towards him with these kind of comments. He's going to take Meghan Markle's side. That's his life now. So unless they break up, which I doubt it, I don't see a break. I know Steph's reported that there's problems in the marriage and stuff like that. I just don't see it because that kind of rumor has been going on for a very long time. I think a divorce or separation would have taken effect already, and now they're still together. So resentment, friendship's probably over between these two.
Sad. So. It's sad when that happens over something stupid and petty. Real friends argue and come back around and check in on each other, especially when shit hits the fan. And it doesn't seem like Harry really was a friend of this guy. He ditched him, and now James is finally like, enough's enough. I'm going to start ragging on my buddy because I don't know what else is going to get to him. So what do you guys think in the comments? I want to hear your thoughts. We got so much more to talk about. If you're watching live, don't go anywhere. I want to get into this Jonathan Majors story. Plus, I want to talk about this Adventures with Purpose guy. I think we're going to get Josh to call in. If you guys haven't already, go check out the story from Josh Cantu on YouTube. Adventures with Purpose really was a big popular organization that is currently screwing him through copyrights and nonsense to try and shut him down during the holidays. It's really disturbing. We're going to talk about that, as well as this Jonathan Majors cause. Now fans are swarming, trying to find the names of jurors to go harass them and get answers. This is getting intense. Marvel's fired them. We got so much more things to talk about, as well as some more royal updates in the live. So if you missed the live and you're not watching live, like I said, become a member, hit that join, go to our community tab, and you'll always be able to catch the replays the next day. And we appreciate all you guys who have joined to become members. Also, whether you're watching live at any point, go support Lewis over at Nerd Report. Right now, if you guys aren't already doing it, go subscribe. Hit that subscribe to Nerd Report. Give them a follow. Nerd Report Daily. Your two sources for insanely awesome reporting and news over only the way Lewis can provide it. So, all right, let's get to some more topics, shall we? Let's do this.